I was reading last week's edition of the LA Weekly, a left-wing free paper that shows up every Thursday around Pasadena. The cover story was about tattoos. Don't worry, this is not a tattoo rant. The story praises tattoos and the whole subculture surrounding them. In a paragraph noting how common tattoos have become, the author says, "Indeed, having a tattoo or multiple tattoos in 2019 is practically the norm, and the stigma is almost gone." Stigma, almost gone. They asked Mike Mahoney, a famous tattoo artist, about that. He says, quote, "We're grateful for the business and that all kinds of people are getting tattooed, but I do miss the old days too," unquote. A tattoo is now a fashion statement and a sign of conformity, where once it was an anti-fashion statement and a sign of nonconformity. And piercing is out of control too. There's a kid who works at the Aldi supermarket near my house. This is not a picture of him, but this is roughly the size of his lobe stretch. You could easily pass a Coke bottle through this kid's destroyed earlobes. How did that happen? I'll tell you how. Stigma was removed. The once useful emblems of contrarian freedom, the tattoo and the pierced ear, are now just two more venues for the relentless attention-seeking that plagues our society. This has happened on many fronts. Sex outside marriage used to carry stigma for very practical reasons. Sex is a unique path toward intimacy. There's nothing else like it. If two people who don't have a lot of sexual experience explore that world together, they develop a bond that strengthens every aspect of their lives. They have a secret sanctuary where only the two of them can go. They escape into one another rather than away from one another. That's a big thing. Stigma was removed from premarital sex, and now your average couple has each had multiple partners before marrying. There are other experiences in each one's memory with other people. And when the hard work of marriage sets in, it's easy to get nostalgic for times when sex didn't come with so many responsibilities. Without stigma surrounding sex, pornography was bound to become commonplace, where once the desire for sex led boys through the courting process and forced them to understand and value women, now they can just go online. Let's not forget that sexual congress creates the future of humanity in the form of children. Is it any surprise that when sex lost its stigma, abortion went through the roof? Society is only as strong as its component parts, and the most important of these is the nuclear family. Think of all the ways that erasing stigma has made the family weaker. Divorce, absent dads, latchkey kids, TVs in every room, cell phones in every hand. So many things that would once have attracted the criticism of neighbors are now thought beyond repair and not even worth mentioning. We've done it with money too. Runaway consumerism has left us without savings and created huge economic class divisions. These things threaten to send us into socialism. It used to be that ostentatious displays of wealth were frowned upon. Not anymore. Now it's just a nonstop orgy of stuff. In fact, the only thing stigmatized these days is stigma. Stigma is now stigmatized. If you push back against a whole range of self-destructive behaviors, you are the one who gets attacked. Watch what happens next time you're in public and some kid throws a temper tantrum. Nothing happens. The brat is allowed to disrupt the whole place, and we are all afraid to speak up, lest we ourselves be seen as intolerant. We forget that stigma is how society balances itself, without having to have laws about everything. You don't think our founding fathers grew up with the social pressure of stigma? Think again. They knew that social pressure was a protection against big government tyranny. I was a pudgy kid. I was teased about it a lot. I slimmed down in my late teens and 20s, but when I got married, I put on the newlywed fat. One day, my wife and mother-in-law were looking through some pictures from an outdoor concert we'd gone to. My mother-in-law said, "Look, Dave's getting man boobs." They both laughed. That stung a lot. I bought running shoes the next day and lost that extra 25 pounds. I swore never to buy jeans with more than a 32-inch waist. And I never have. 35 years later, I have no back problems, I'm not on statins, I'm not diabetic. Stigma is the reason for my good health. Even though it's mostly gone now from the culture, it still lives in my own mind, and it motivates me to get my butt out there and exercise every night. We're losing the battle for health primarily because we've replaced disapproval with support. We've replaced the earned esteem of others with self-esteem. We've been taught that a person's short-term feelings are more important than their long-term health, or the long-term strength of human society. Listen, you guys know that I have done a lot of things wrong in my life. Soon I'll be telling the story of my addictions to drugs and alcohol. I came of age in Los Angeles just as Stigma was going out of style, and my own messy life is proof that without rules to live by, things can go horribly astray. Stigma is not meanness. Stigma is tough love. If you tell a kid that walking around with his pants down makes him look like an idiot, you have told them that he's not an idiot. Why would looking like an idiot be a problem to an actual idiot? Every time you bust him for putting in a shabby effort, you are telling him that he's better than his behavior. If you do that often enough, he'll start to believe you and eventually start striving without you needing to push. If you withhold criticism, he'll take that to heart as well and keep slacking off forever. That will be his identity. I often say that society is nothing more or less than a complex web of incentives and stigmas. All of our laws and religious moral codes, and even the rules of the games we play, are trying to tell us that there is a difference between doing it right and doing it wrong. The right way is always harder than the wrong way. That's kind of the whole point. Compare a handcrafted piece of furniture to a snap-together from IKEA. Which one will still be treasured in a few decades from now? Shouldn't we make all of our life choices with as much care? If we really do want to make America great again, we need to start holding one another to high standards of behavior. We need to be generous with praise when somebody is really bringing it and give them this look when they're just phoning it in. Encouragement is fantastic. Keep that up. But know that without stigma, encouragement is just sweet talk, just empty glad-handing. It's the carrot without the stick, the honey without the sting, or for you classic rock fans, the rose without the thorn. Killing stigma is unbalancing the world. We need to bring it back. When you praise somebody, do it accurately and with some detail. And when somebody you love tries to con you with a half-assed effort, let them know that you ain't buying it. This is how you weed out the chronic laziness and failure and begin to cultivate greatness. Please share this video if it hits home with you. Let me know in the comments how all of this relates to you. I read as many of your comments as I can, and I'm impressed with how well many of you express yourselves. So, get to writing. And pull your damn pants up. Jeez. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and then click the little bell to get notifications.